Accountant 2. The film opens as Ray King is at a bar during bingo night. A young woman, Anais, enters and approaches Ray's table, while some guys working for a man named Burke are keeping an eye on them. Ray presents Anais with a photo of a family from El Salvador, the Sanchez's, whom she believes Ray is asking her to kill. He says he wants her to help find them, as he was hired by the father of the wife, Edith. Ray is alerted to the presence of the other men and tries to flee the bar. He fights and kills two men in the bar before the patrons start to flee in a panic. Ray runs into the street, where he is gunned down. Treasury agent Marybeth Medina learns of Ray's death and goes to the morgue to identify his body. On his arm, she finds "Find the Accountant" written. The only lead is a photo of an undocumented family of immigrants who disappeared some years back. Marybeth Medina finds the last message from King was to call in Christian Wolf, who is accountant to criminal organizations and FBI mole, to help her figure what shady business their friend was wrapped up in. Christian, who now lives an itinerant life out of his tricked-out Airstream RV. Burke and his top goon Cobb are talking at their work site over Ray and Anais. They know who she is, as she showed up during a meeting Burke had with three other guys, where she killed the men but left Burke alive. Burke orders Cobb to go to Fort Worth to take care of anybody else looking into their dirty work. Marybeth begins her investigation on whatever Ray was looking into. After finding documents related to Chris, she contacts a neuroscience academy connected to him. Marybeth is later found by Chris in a parking lot. They look into Ray's pictures and research, finding several pictures of dead Chilean ex-Special Forces guys, as well as a tax return from Edith Sanchez. They find that Edith's father was a man named Emiliano Gonzalez, who was shot to death in Fort Worth. Chris and Marybeth go to a pizza factory to speak to the manager, Ike, since Edith allegedly worked there. When Ike doesn't give them the information they need, Chris gets out his own research and suggests that Ike is involved with money laundering. Ike gets in Chris's face, leading to Chris twisting his finger and then fighting off a few employees coming to Ike's aid. Eventually, Chris gets Ike to admit that he gets money from a man named Thomas, who is involved in trafficking women. Chris's brother Braxton, who goes on a job to kill some guys when he gets a call from Chris asking for his help. Brax is reluctant since his relationship with his brother has been strained, but he eventually relents and goes to meet him. Brax meets Chris and Marybeth at a motel, where the brothers wait in a room for three women. They give them money to give up information on Thomas, but the women are scared for their lives. Two of them leave, but one stays behind and asks for extra payment to get her away from Thomas. The men wait until Thomas arrives. Brax punches Thomas and knocking him out. Meanwhile, Marybeth learns of Emiliano's death, as well as the death of Edith's husband Gino, and the disappearance of their son Alberto. The next day, Marybeth joins Chris and Brax as Chris contacts Justine. She rounds up her network of hackers to infiltrate security footage throughout Los Angeles to find Anais. They find surveillance footage of her on the night of Ray's murder and discover a woman named Pamela took a selfie that captured Anais. The hackers find Pamela's laptop and go through her files to find the selfie, all while Marybeth objects to the invasion of privacy and fears that they will be discovered. The hackers manage to find the selfie before Pamela notices anything. They discover that Anais has been in several parts of the globe and has carried out murders against members of criminal organizations. Marybeth learns that Chris and Brax were responsible for some of the deaths, which makes her decide to break away from their help and to continue her investigation by the book. Marybeth and an attorney later meets with Thomas and his lawyer. It is revealed Ike was murdered and had a rat shoved into his throat. Before Thomas can agree to give his testimony against his employers, Cobb shoots him and his lawyer with a sniper rifle. Chris learns from Justine about a car accident from years ago involving a woman. Mary Beth learns of the car accident victim, a woman who ended up losing her memory and underwent facial reconstruction surgery. The woman also developed acquired savant syndrome and became skilled at things like chess and later killing. The woman was Edith Sanchez, who eventually became Anais. She became violent and attacked a guard before escaping her facility. Chris finds out that Brax's employer is ordering him to take out Mary Beth. Chris races to get to her first, but Anais makes it there first. She and Mary Beth get into a fight, ending with Anais stabbing Mary Beth. Before leaving, Anais sees the picture of herself as Edith with Gino and Alberto. This triggers her memories of being trafficked by Burke and his men and witnessing him kill Gino. Chris arrives to find Mary Beth and gets her help. Burke orders Cobb and his other goons to round up the kidnapped children at their compound in Juarez and to execute all of them. With help from Justine, Chris and Brax head to Juarez to rescue them. The villains round up the children on the bus as they make it to a pit that the kids are forced into. The brothers shoot the mercs, but Cobb is on the bus with Alberto. Chris makes it onto the bus while Brax is in the back. Cobb tries to sell out Burke just before Chris and Brax both put bullets into him. They then get the kids out of the pit and drive the bus to take them home. Justine calls Anais and gives her a location. There she finds Burke coming out of the shower. He realizes she is there for him, and she grabs a large knife and follows him. Mary Beth returns to work after recovering. She contacts a number that Justine is listening in on to thank her for helping save the kids, and that Ray would be proud. The hackers are seen putting together a room in their hideout for Alberto, who is being taken to them by Chris and Brax.